So one of the big benefits about coming to an RV rally, especially one as big as the Grand Design National Rally, is you have all kinds of OEM and vendor reps here. So today we're meeting with Nick from Pull-rite, and he's going to come out and show us a couple of adjustments on our slider hitch. Ours has started sliding back on its own when we don't have the trailer on. So if I take kind of a sharp curve or make an abrupt stop, it's kind of slamming forward, making a lot of noise. So Nick's going to fix me up. He's also going to tell us a little bit more about the maintenance on these hitches. He was totally cool with being videoed, so you guys can tag along. Maybe we'll all learn a little something today, but so far from meeting with Nick yesterday and talking about the hitches, I think I made the right pick. It's been a great hitch, so we're just going to do a little tune-up and we'll see how this goes.
Most of the jaws out there on the market are like a two-piece jaw that clamps around the pin, or has a single slide bar.
Okay.
The problem with both of those is your kingpin is a perfect circle or cylinder, right? And a two-piece jaw, when you clamp it together, every one of them, when you look at it, it's not perfectly round. It's got a little oval to it.
Okay.
Because you need clearance for that jaw cam to work and operate properly. So because of that, the kingpin, which is round, ends up impacting two little points. The other hitches have that slide bar, so you have a flat bar and a round pin, and you get one single point of impact that ends up getting a little divot in it that over time creates chucking. And those, in some cases, it's a good question for something like that because it's going to get looser. What this jaw is a little different is when we, I'll be careful triggering this with my hand, but the jaw is the same curve of the kingpin that you're pulling against.
Okay.
So that kingpin is nested in there, spreading that load all the way across. You should never see any peening on that top or bottom surface, meaning that material is sufficient to hold it. It's not, no material loss is happening.
Okay.
And then the kingpin's also held firmly up here, so you really shouldn't ever have to rebuild it.
Okay.
This part of it, as long as you're maintaining it, is going to be fine. Now, maintaining it, putting anything on it that's not dry is good. Whether you coat it with grease or oil or silicone, I mean, we say don't use silicone on it, but the reality is if you use anything on it, it's fine. It's just about cleaning it off regularly. If you use silicone, you got to clean it off right away,
right? Because
it's going to collect dirt. Everything's going to stick to it. Grease is kind of the same way, but it's a little more forgiving. Grease is going to have that dirt, it's going to mush out, and it's still going to offer some slickness to it, we'll say. I like WD-40 because it's clean, it's easy, it's not going to last a really long time, but it's going to condition the surface of the metal, it's going to keep it from rusting and drying out. The other part as far as maintenance goes that you're also doing good is the lubrication on these. Those, we say every day of travel, it's probably a little bit overkill, but the reality is as long as you're doing it enough, or as long as they stay wet for those longer travels and they're not building up a ton of dirt, then you're doing fine.
Okay, right.
As long as there's something being put on there, the hitch is going to slide easily, and yours certainly slides easily.
Yeah.
So that brings up another point. There's actually a forward stop on this hitch. It's kind of the question you guys had for me at the seminar. You're getting this hitch sliding around in the bed of your truck when you're not towing. Right. You know, you've got your trailer here at the rally and you're driving around and you're getting this thing slamming around. So that's the first symptom. The other symptom that you probably aren't telling me or you might not know is a problem because you haven't towed with other hitches is you're probably getting a little extra chucking.
Sometimes when I take off from a dead stop, particularly if I'm a little bit uphill, I'll hear just a short pop, just a real short.
What it is this is, you know, able to free float a little bit. You can see that.
Oh yeah, okay.
A little bit of movement right there.
Okay.
So that's because there's a forward stop adjustment that's designed to bind that up and kind of lock it into position to prevent it from sliding back and forth. And it also aids in holding everything tight when you are towing down the road. Usually though, when people have this issue, we'll get the call in customer service, say, hey, this thing's sliding around. I got a bungee cord on the front corner that I hook my hitch to. This adjustment, you won't need it. Okay. Because we don't want it to slide back. There's actually a forward stop adjustment here at the front. And if you forget, you can always go to YouTube and go to Nick the Hitch Guy. I have a video on there that shows how this adjustment's done. Oh, cool. But you go ahead and loosen up the jam nut, and this forward stop threads either this way to tighten it up or this way to loosen it. Well, you're always going to be tightening it up, at least those first couple adjustments. It's kind of a trial and error. We're gonna slide it up. It's still pretty loose, so I'm gonna go another quarter of a turn. I'll slide it up, and now I'm starting to get some binding. I say some, I want a little bit more. I'm gonna go another eighth, maybe a quarter turn. So now it should take a good amount of force to muscle that into position. So now I can grab this, and all that little teeny tiny bit of movement's gone. Now, when we're in the truck and I'm grabbing it and shaking it, that little teeny tiny bit of movement doesn't seem like much, but when you're hooked up to your 12,000 pound trailer, 14,000 pound trailer, it now becomes quite a bit, especially when all that pressure's in one area and then you're accelerating up that hill and it all falls the other direction. It all happens at once. Now that you know about it, you'll probably notice after you tow again, it's going to be loose a little bit. Okay. Basically, you're chasing out a little bit of tolerance and everything. The bolts, the holes that everything goes through, the holes are a little bit bigger than the bolts. Everything has to slide to the one direction as far as, you know, these tubes. So once that happens, it's all broken and it's not going to need adjusted anymore. Typically that's 3 or 4 adjustments. Okay. Now, in addition to that, we're going to pull the hitch plate off because I like to inspect that when I'm out here. Annually, it's good to look at it, make sure everything's tight. On this though, we want to lubricate this pivot bolt because the hitch actually pivots side to side right there. So you have all that load, all the vertical load coming down, pivoting on your main pivot bolt. Okay. So this is a 1 1/8. So you'll need a little bit larger wrench. Obviously, hand tools are probably best used for this, but I'm doing so many of them out here that I use this. So what we're doing here is just pulling this bolt out. You don't have to pull it all the way out. I will. What I'll do is clean it off. And this is a load-bearing bolt, so I'm going to check it out, look at it. You can see that that load is being very nicely spread across it. The other surface areas, there's no ridges. Seems to be in really good shape. No bars or cuts or anything like that. Nope, looks really good. So now all I need to do is put a fresh coating of grease. We're not real picky on the grease, just a good medium duty, light duty grease. This does have a tension spring on the bottom. Okay. So what I'm doing is just kind of putting a little pressure down to line everything back up. So now just some of that grease, just paint it on. Now we just push the bolt back in and make sure that this seats up next to the stop block there. Perfect. Just like that. Sometimes it's a little tricky getting it through this hole. Just compress it down a little bit. And then make sure your split lock washer is not separated. Still has a separation in it that direction. So we'll go ahead and reuse that one. Okay. And you said yesterday this is probably an annual deal? Yeah, I mean, I'm talking months. For the guy that's going all the time, running, you know, it's hard to say a date because I talked to people that are 12,000 miles last year and then other people that were 4,000 or 2,000. We were 50. Okay, so yeah, I do it every 6 months. Would be a bad idea for you. With a Pull-rite, you want to make sure your trailer's nice and low when you hook up. I can tell you guys are doing that from the wear patterns. If you aren't hooking up properly, this can become a sacrificial item. This trip lever, it gets hit by the kingpin, and if the kingpin's in there at an odd angle, you can actually bend that and cause damage. It's a pretty easy fix. Yours is in great shape. It's nice and tight. Your springs look phenomenal. I mean, it looks as good as new. Cool. So all I really recommend on this is giving it a wipe down. There's a little assembly grease here from the factory. Then you have a puck system hitch, but the puck system feet are removable and you can transfer it to, you know, of course, if you bought a new truck with a Ford with a puck system, it's going to be really transferable. Yeah. If you buy a Chevy or a Dodge, depending on the year, you might have to get new brackets or a new picture frame or an OE adapter, as we call them. As far as the hitch goes, I think we're good to go. I like the adjustment, lubrication here on the way tubes. Now, because you guys do have a puck system, have you ever checked those? Okay. No. We use a brass alloy washer. Oh yeah, and I can tell they're a little loose. We use a brass alloy washer, which if you pull the post out, you can see it down in there. So that is a washer that is a material that's designed not to corrode together. So it's not like you have to pull the hitch out to make sure the hitch isn't stuck in there. Other hitches like this would have a post that's connected to the hitch and it's all steel, and if it stays in there for too long, it could corrode and lock in. We make removable posts with that brass alloy washer to prevent that. You're putting so much weight and load on there that this kind of stuff, you get a little surface wear and you need to readjust. So the castle nuts will just straighten out these cotter pins, which these are pretty hefty cotter pins, so we'll be sweating a little bit doing so. But we'll adjust these down a little bit, probably another Krenel or two on the nut, just to get it a little tighter onto the bed.
Okay. So does that not actually bolt into the truck anywhere? Is there not like a bolt on the bottom that comes up?
No, no.
That's it?
You know this, and then you do your two over on that side, and we could slide this hitch out of the bed of the truck just like that. We don't want to get it so tight that we got to beat the handles closed. I mean, it's not really going to hurt anything. We're just trying to take out any up and down movement.
Okay. There we go. And we're going down about a quarter. But it's a simple enough process. I assumed at some point I would have to get under the truck with the torque wrench. Yeah. And do it that way, which is fine. Is there an inherent danger to that, Nick? If they're a little bit loose, I mean, it's probably not going to come flying out of the bed.
When you're towing, what's happening is this, a little bit of this, maybe.
Okay.
Because your load is going to stay vertically down. The shear strength of those 4 1-inch posts are, you know, way more than what you're ever going to be looking at.
Okay. So it's not like
it's not a real danger. From the manufacturer, you have a frame with an H frame that's put on there. There's tolerance in that because it's typically bought from a hitch manufacturer. The Ford and Ram and Chevy, I don't think are making those themselves yet.
Okay.
And then they're painted. They have all sorts of dimensional things, and once that paint starts scuffing off, you know, the top of that puck is a painted surface.
Sure.
We're putting a hitch right on that painted surface, and then you get all that weight. It's gonna work that paint off, and then things get a little looser. And
yeah.
That's why you're chasing it out.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
But once you make that adjustment, you shouldn't have a whole lot more to do. No dangers with it.
4 clips of me going the wrong direction.
It's easy to do.
Okay, so that ended up working out awesome. Again, that was Nick from Pull-rite Hitches. He did a really cool seminar here, kind of talking about the whole Pull-rite product line, which we already have one. I was asking him some questions, and he said, I'll just come out and take care of it. And he was cool with us shooting, so we really appreciate that. We'll make sure and put a link to his channel below if you guys want to watch kind of some of his hitch maintenance videos. But super nice guy, and really all the vendors here at the Grand Design National Rally have just been awesome and given us a ton of time and answered questions that I didn't even know I had. So another good reason to come check out a rally.